In exploring the sensory association of sound and color, we can talk about human perception, musical sounds, colors, keeping a journal, and a good reference to read. Human perception. In particular, we see colors, we hear sounds, but maybe there's a sensory fusion where actually we hear colors, and when we hear a sound, we see a color associated with it. In particular, colored music is sometimes referred to more technically as musical synesthesia. It may be arbitrary in the sense that it's something that we perceive, but we don't have an explanation for it, or there could be some logic behind it. For example, some people will associate and see the color yellow or some shade of it when they hear a brass instrument. But a brass instrument is of a yellowish type of color, so that it may be logical. But more often than not, it's just arbitrary. Some musical sounds we could explore to see if you have some musical synesthesia are sounds such as the tonality. Here I'll play a scale and see if you can associate a color with this. Now here's another scale. Was there a color with either of these two? And then intervals. Here's an interval. Do you see a color? It's a different interval. And then two chords. The first chord and the second chord. The colors that you might be seeing could be the natural colors, the colors that we see all around us in the world, or there might be colors which are actually difficult to describe in words. What's of interest, however, is if these sensations are consistent. So keeping a journal is a good idea and something I would recommend. Do you have some persistence in your perception as you hear a sound and associate a color with it? And also, as you keep this journal, keep in mind that there are other forms of synesthesia which you might be experiencing, like there might be a color associated with numbers or even with letters. And a good reference to read with regards to this subject is Musicophilia by Oliver Sacks, in particular pages 165 to 183. We've talked about exploring the sensory association of sound and color in human perception, musical sounds, colors, keeping a journal, and a good reference to read. If any of this is of interest to you, let's talk. All the best, Gerald LeMay.